Welcome to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. It's your opportunity to learn more about your garden and your yard, about dealing with pests, and about taking care of the birds. You can be part of the show with your questions at 395-1450. That's 395-1450. And now, from De Bruyne Seeds on Washington Avenue in Zeeland, here's the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
And good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm sitting here for 5 minutes. Never have to cough. Get on mine. Suddenly have to cough. Sorry about that. Okay, yes, it is a chilly day out there today, but it's not snowing and there's no ice out there yet. So it is the day to run over to De Bruyne's with everybody else and get your ice melting products for the at least the beginning of the winter here. It doesn't help you to have, we have snow tomorrow morning and you not be able to get out anywhere because you don't have any ice melt or you don't have a shovel or whatever. So let's get all organized today. Get that ice melt out there. We've got a wide variety of ice melt, different sizes, different types, and they're all for different type of situation. So the guys can help you pick out what you need. There's some pet-friendly ones. There's some ones that are more friendly for your bushes and landscaping. Some that are easier on new concrete. So be careful with all of that. But the guys will gladly help pick out what you need to have. They don't. They're pretty good about that. So don't worry about that. They will get you what you need, so you will have that ice melt tomorrow. Remember, right as it begins to snow, put out some ice melt then. That will actually prevent ice from forming underneath the snow or even from the snow if you start tracking it down and packing it down from it turning into ice. So if you get that ice melt down right before the snow, that will be kind of a helpful thing. So let's prepare for tomorrow. Make sure your shovels are in good repair. If you've got a snow blower, I would start it. Make sure you've got some fuel for it. Just make sure that you're all set to go for a winter storm type of situation. Unfortunately, I think it's going to snow. I don't think that it doesn't look like there's any way out of us not getting it. So let's just be one with the snow and enjoy it. It's our first real snow of the year. So real snow that will actually stay for a little bit. So I think that will be, you got to get it. It's November. It's after Thanksgiving. It's time. And it's chilly out there this morning. It was in the 20s earlier. I know it's warmed up a little bit, but it's cold out there, folks. Do dress accordingly. And don't yell at me because I didn't. It's so warm in the house when I leave in the morning. And you think, I really don't need that heavy of a jacket. So there are times when I'm a little bit scatterbrained and there's frost on the ground. But no, that doesn't. I hear on the radio it's 27 degrees. But no. Does that even occur to me that I might need a heavier jacket? And no way. But hey, I've got a heavy sweatshirt on. So I think I'll be okay. But you be careful with it. Make sure that when you do walk your dog and go outside, when there's ice melt on the ground, and I don't care if it says pet friendly or if it doesn't, it's really not going to hurt the dog when it's walking outside and it's freezing. You need to wipe the paws off when they come in. And you need to wipe between the paws off because that's where all those little snow melt things are going to get. And I can guarantee you the problem with ice melt and dogs is not them walking on it. It's them ingesting it. And once they come in and you haven't cleaned off their feet, well, they're going to sit down somewhere and they're going to start licking their paws and they start chewing, and then they're going to pick out all of that ice melt that's between their toes and they eat it. you know what? Let's save an expensive vet bill and let's just wipe down the feet when they come in. Between the toes, make it a game, make it fun for them, but make sure you wipe off their feet. And your cats too, when they come in, if they're outside, wipe off their feet. That's, you to clean off your shoes when you come in. You need to wipe off your pet's feet when they come in, especially if they've been walking over a sidewalk or even like at the bottom of my driveway. I've got a really steep driveway. And, if there's ice melt on the driveway, it will be water at the bottom of my driveway. And I'll tell you, when I had a dog, the dog always walked through that water. Now it had ice melt in there. So you need to wipe those feet down. So if it walks through water or on top of the ice melt, make sure the feet are wiped down. Okay. That's my public service announcement for the day, but it's really vitally important that you do remember that every time. And I know it's a pain, but hey, just think if you had to go to the bathroom outside all the time when it's 27 degrees, it's the least you can do for the little guys. Okay. The Great Lakes Vegetable and Farm Market Expo is coming up soon. It's December 5 through the 7th at DeVos Hall in Grand Rapids. This is a huge farm and greenhouse expo. They have 450 exhibitors, everything from seeds to, they'll have some plants there. They'll have apple cider. They'll have anything to do with gardening. And they have machinery, huge machinery there. They'll have bagging machines. They'll have pickers. They'll have everything there. It's kind of fun to see all the new tractors and things like that there too. And they also have classes. They have classes all day long, and they have a half a dozen different classrooms going every hour. So they have classes on, there is a couple classes on lavender, how to grow lavender. But they've got things of how to set up a farm market, how to sell your honey that you get, they do everything, how to grow onions, how to grow blueberries, and they usually have questions. The classes are really interesting. If you just go to the Great Lakes Vegetable and Farm Market Expo online, you will see, you can download all of the classes that they have. And it goes the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday classes. A lot of times they have continuing classes, like from one day to the next day. It is a fun show. I go every year. You always learn a ton. If you need to renew your registered use pesticide license, they do have classes there that you have to sign up for, but you just go online and sign up for it. But there are they will, and make sure you take your number with you. So they will check off because you need X amount of continuing ed hours before you can get your renewal. So you can do that there at the Great Lakes Vegetable and Farm Market Show. You might want to look up that ahead of time and sign up for those classes ahead of time, because sometimes they can be a little bit packed, so to speak. On the years I have to update mine, it always seems like they're packed. But they are doing, yes. So there's a 4-hour review in the morning, and then you can take the test in the afternoon. So you can get all done in one day. Isn't that fun? So you can get that done. And then there's also, what else is going on at MSU? There is the Foundations of Gardening, and this is the class you have to take if you want to become a master gardener. It costs $350. It doesn't start until February 1, and it's every Thursday evening until April 11 from 6 to 8:30. They are accepting scholarship applications that begins in December 7. So if you're having if you're having a tough time getting $350 together, and a lot of people do at Christmas, so it's nothing to be ashamed about, you can go to msu.edu/courses /foundations of gardening, and they will get you to the right spot where you can sign up for a scholarship. I mean, if you can get even $50 off, I mean, anything off would be fantastic. So they are doing that. They do realize that it seems to be a lot of money. You get a lot at this. When I did my class, I mean, I've got probably a 4-inch notebook full of stuff. Every class they give you more, and it's online program now. So you can download all of this stuff. You can make your own notebook, or you can just have it online, sort of thing too. They give you a lot. There's a lot to know about that sort of stuff. So, okay, now we have to stop, take a break, listen to these messages, and we will be back with the garden show after that.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBrine Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
And we are back. There's so much going on at DeBrine's right now. It's hard to tell you about everything, but the calendar should be ready next week. I'm waiting on paper right now, so if you can just bear with me, and they'll be ready next week. They look so cute. I am so excited. You're going to have to figure every month. You're going to have to figure out what are the animals doing in the picture that's alike. You never know. You never know. What's the theme of the month here? Are cats all sleeping in circles? Are dogs staring at you? And you never know. So it's kind of fun. I have a ball doing it. It just takes me a while to get everybody's pictures on there correctly and get everybody in there. But it's fun. It should be next week once I get the paper in. Also, the guys put up the Christmas tree this morning in the birdseed room. That's so exciting. It's so cute. They got new lights, but they couldn't get. We had always used colored lights, different colored lights. Obviously, the only ones they could get were red. So 3/4 of the tree is red lights on it, and then the bottom of the tree is multiple colored lights. So you can tell the guys did it. It's kind of cute. But we need to have your pet food to give to Furry Friends Pet Food Pantry or Best Pals Animal Shelter. We'd like to get as much pet food as we can. If you had an open bag and it's not expired, but you bought a new bag of cat food and your cat or your dog hates it, and so it's just sitting in your cupboard, I will take that. We'll give it to Furry Friends. Just make sure it's not expired. That's the only thing I ask. Or you can buy you're at Meijer's, you're at Walmart or wherever, and something's on sale. Grab it. I will take a case of canned cat food. Dog food. I'll take puppy food. I'll take kitten food. I'll take rabbit food. Whatever you've got, dry, canned, whatever. I will take it, just as long as it's not expired and it's not a Victor product that just got recalled. So that's my two ifs. I don't want those two, but you can even come into DeBrine's. You're buying a bag of dog food, buy another bag and put it under the tree. The pets around here will be very, very happy. Furry Friend Pet Food Pantry does give away the dog food to people that otherwise would not be able to afford to feed their animals, and they would have to surrender them. So it's a way to keep your best friend in the house and you not have to worry about it. And what a nice thing that we can do at Christmas is to help keep someone's best friend in the house with them. So we need all the dog food, cat food, kitten food, puppy food you can do. I would be very, very appreciative. Also, we're still doing Puerto Rico, we just boxed up a bunch of stuff. I'm going to send it the first of the week, but I will take any medications that you didn't give to your animals or humans or whatever. If you went through and shame on you, you didn't finish your medications, but good for me, I will take them. You can't take them back anywhere. So I will take them, send them down to Puerto Rico. They'll be very, very happy, especially antibiotics and flea and tick medications, anything you've got for your dog or cat or human. Most of the human meds will go over to animals also. So it's always very, very much appreciated. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the people of West Michigan. You guys are always so nice, and anytime I ask for something, I usually get quite a bit. We usually get quite a bit of dog and cat food, so I'm always very, very thankful. So we're going to start that again, and that goes through the end of the year, the dog and cat food. So you've got a little time here to get it over to DeBrine's. What else was I going to say? I think that's it, except Ken just put all the bird feeders 20% off through Christmas. This is a great deal. We just got in a whole bunch of new wooden feeders. Those are so sharp. Mr. Stovall does a beautiful job on those. Cedar. They are just beautiful. And they're 20% off now through Christmas. So if you need to give a gift of a bird feeder, now is the time to come in and grab some. The guys get new ones in every week. I sit upstairs in my office and I can look down in the store, and they've got all these bird feeders hanging from the ceiling. So a lot of people call, do you have this? And I can kind of look in the store. I can't see the whole store, but I can see in front of me. And oh yeah, we do have that feeder over there. I have been staring at, I didn't know what in the world it was. It was on top of the stack of mole worms, and it looked like an O. And I'm like, did they make a sign and just put an O on the? I could not figure out what. And every time I'd go down the store, I'd forget to go and look. So I made a point of going downstairs and looking at it. It's a round bird feeder. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm thinking, gosh, it'd be kind of cute if they had other letters too, but they just have an O as far as I can see, and they come in a couple of different colors, so they're kind of cute, kind of a different, smaller feeder. You know, it's a gift for someone that just has a small space, that would be a lovely feeder. And it's not a sign; it is a feeder. It's just an O, so that's really cute. But they have gotten a bunch of new feeders in the past week or so. So honestly, if you can't find a feeder at DeBrine's, it's not out there. There are so many different types of feeders out, and I think we've got one of everything at least. So don't worry about it. But at 20% off right now through Christmas, that is a great deal. Going to stick on the bird subject, and then we're going to talk about coffee with the birds. Next week, Kurt Dykstra, I believe, will be on the show here on Saturday. He is the Ottawa Parks naturalist, and he puts on the Coffee with the Birds. The first session is December 9 of this year, and it goes from 9:30 to 10:20. They talk about the bird. You can stream it online, or you can go to Hemlock Crossings and actually sit there and look at the giant wall of windows that overlooks like a little valley there. And there are a ton of bird feeders there. And there are birds there like you have never seen, because there's so many feeders. And he puts out a little bit of everything. He gets his feed at DeBrine's, and I'll tell you, he puts out everything. And it's fun to watch if you've never streamed it on Saturday morning, if you can't get there live. It is a fun thing to watch. He will go, oh, there's a female blah, blah, blah over at this feeder over here. And he'll point out the feeder, point out the birds. He'll tell you how you can, that's a female, this is a male. I always have problems with that. I can usually get kind of what they are, but to me, there's awful lot of little brown birds out there, and he will identify them all for you. And then he does a short presentation at from 10:30 until 11, and then he has a second session of watching the birds from 11:10 until noon. So it is a fun thing to watch. Grab a cup of coffee. Either watch it, download it, and watch it online, or you can go to Hemlock Crossings and watch it in person. It's fun. So December 9, January 20, February 17, and March 16 are the times of when he will be doing that this winter. Great fun. He also does bird walks in the spring and summer at either Pigeon Creek or at Hemlock Crossings. And it's always in the Ottawa County Parks thing of when he does the bird walks. They're fun. They are great fun. He's as good as Eldon Gray ever was, which is going some. I remember going on walks with Eldon, and he would go, "Oh, chipping sparrow up over there. Now this over here. Now that." And you're like, "Hold it! I'm still trying to find the chipping sparrow." And he just got everything by bird song or caught a little flash, and he knew exactly what it was. Kurt is just as good. So it's fun to listen to his talks. He's got some beautiful pictures. He was up in Alaska a couple years ago following owls. He's got some of the coolest pictures of owls ever. So it's kind of fun to watch some of his presentations just to see his gorgeous pictures. Mine aren't near that good. I can tell what they are, maybe, but his are really cool. Okay, what else is going on out there this week? I think that's about it. I think there's going to be another trivia. That was great fun. I did not win this month, but you go online and it's $5 and it's horticultural trivia, and you're asked, you get 30 multiple choice questions. And you got to answer them as quick as you can, so you can't sit there and Google anything because you don't have enough time. Some of these people are really good. But it was great fun to do it last week. So I'll tell you when the next one of those is coming up. It should be coming up soon, I would think. But that was so much fun. It took maybe 45 minutes of my time one night, but last week. But yeah. It was a great time. Okay, we need to stop and take a little break here. The news is coming up, and then after that, we'll be talking about. I have no idea what we'll be talking about, so we'll be back soon.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBrine Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
And we are back. It's a beautiful Sunday. No, it's a beautiful Saturday. I am so confused. I had Thursday off, and then, I don't know, I thought it was Sunday the next day. I'm completely confused here. So it is Saturday, folks. You still can get out, do something outside. You can plant some tulip bulbs. I would do that before it snows tonight. That would be easier. I have shoveled the snow off the ground to do tulip bulbs. That is not fun. As long as the ground isn't frozen, you can put the tulip bulbs in. But honestly, it was so much more fun to plant them 4 weeks ago when it was warmer. But believe me, put on a pair of gloves. You can still do it outside if you haven't got it, or if you want to do a couple more little spots. You can still do it, folks. The ground is not frozen. So get out there and get that done. The bulbs that you don't have to put outside are the lovely amaryllis bulbs and paper white bulbs that we have at the store. We have the waxed amaryllis ones that you just set out on the counter. You don't water it. You don't do anything. You just set it out in a you know a bright room. Doesn't have to, don't put it in direct sunlight, and it will just start growing. And you never water it. You never do anything like that, and it's so much fun. You'll get a beautiful amaryllis. Now it's not going to get 3 feet tall or anything. Mine usually get about 15 inches tall. My one I did last year had 5 blossoms on it. It was beautiful, and I didn't have to do anything. That's the best part, because I start out thinking I am going to take care of this plant, and then I end up completely forgetting about it because I'm doing other things, and you get kind of busy around the holidays. And so the waxed amaryllis, it's great to have. If you like to grow an amaryllis, it's a fun thing to do. And I noticed that Ken put them on sale, so I got to grab one for my house, and they're a fantastic present for a friend that has an absolute brown thumb. They don't have to do anything except take it out of the box and put it on a table somewhere. That's as hard as that one gets. Or, if you know someone that's a shut-in or whatever, easy, they can just watch it grow every day. How much fun is that? We do have regular amaryllis also. We have amaryllis kits. We've got one amaryllis kit that has the most beautiful red and gold pot with it. That is probably well worth it. The amaryllis bulbs this year are looking really good. They're big. They're nice and firm. Those are lovely bulbs. And we've got the couple that have started already. Caleb and Greg have planted those up. So I've got them growing in my office. I've got amaryllis growing everywhere, along with cat grass for the cat. And it's everywhere. I've got stuff everywhere growing in the office upstairs. Ken has put the daffodil and tulip bulbs on sale. I think he's got 20 daffodil bulbs at $7.98 right now. That's a fabulous deal. So if you need some, quick run down to DeBrine's. I know they still have some tulip bulbs left too, so to grab those. Still have some hyacinth bulbs. Those things are fun to put someplace cool. Some people put them in the refrigerator, as long as you don't put apples or onions in the refrigerator with them, and keep them in there for a couple of months, and then take them out and put them on top of a vase where the base of the amaryllis does not hit the water, but it's just right above it, and it will start growing roots, and then it will grow atop. Fun to force a hyacinth in the house. Easy to do, and they smell beautiful. So fun thing. All the fun things to grow are in the winter. We have the Christmas cactus in. They also make lovely gifts, but they're a beautiful cactus. Someone called me and asked me, now, should I repot this Christmas cactus right away? And I'm like, I don't ever remember repotting my Christmas cactus. So I went home. My Christmas cactus is still in the same pot it was in 3 years ago, and it's absolutely huge. So I guess it's not too terribly fussy. So, yeah, whatever. Oh, and we do have someone on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on the
Hello?
Garden Show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Jan. I have 2 little African violets that I've had for, a long time now, probably 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've repotted it a few times, but I repotted it last week, 2 weeks ago, and I don't know if I did something wrong, because it's just they're so sad. They just kind of droop.
Oh, no.
And my husband said, I got my potting soil at Walmart or at Myers, because it says it's specifically for African
violets. Okay.
And I took them all out, shook all the, got the little roots and put the pots and watered them, and, because I figured they needed water right away.
Yeah.
And so, but they just are not doing anything. Their leaves are just so droopy, and
yeah.
still they have flowers on. They still have flowers on, but
Okay. So
I don't know what
the leaves are just taking a little time to. Are they the leaves at the bottom of the plant, or all of them, or?
All of them are droopy. Yes.
Okay, and I suppose this is not a very big plant. Now that you.
No, because I remember you always said they like to be in that smaller pot.
Yeah, the smaller pot. Did you cut off some of the roots at the bottom?
No, I did not do that.
You might want to do that.
Repot them?
Yeah, you might want to take them out and take off the bottom leaves. Take off a layer of those bottom leaves, and then take a pretty sharp knife. And I know it sounds horrible, but just cut off like a 1/2 inch of the roots at the bottom.
Okay.
And then
could I use a scissors?
You could use the scissors, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, just cut off a 1/2 inch. Don't do any more than that.
Okay.
And then you're going to put the plant in the soil a little deeper because where you took off the bottom leaves of the thing, that's going to be under the soil now, and that will become roots.
Okay. All right. All right. I will give that a try this afternoon and see what happens.
Yeah, and you know,
don't
sometimes
think it's
they
the
do.
Dirt, then,
they do.
It was specifically for African violets. So.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't a problem. I'm just cut off a little bit.
And where's the best place to keep them then? In the
They
house?
do not like to be in direct sunlight.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Oh.
So if you can get them.
That I did wrong then.
Well, I've got them, in a west-facing window, but I've got it way at the one corner of the west-facing window. It's kind of behind a curtain, so they don't really ever get sunlight, and they're just fine there. They love it there.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll give it a try, Jan. Thank you so much for
luck.
your help.
Oh, well, good luck.
Yep, thanks.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, those African violets can be a little bit of a tricky thing to do, but, if you take them out, I know it sounds horrible, but cut off a 1/2 inch of the roots at the bottom, take off some of those bottom leaves, and they always look a little droopy anyway, and bury that whole African violet a little bit further in that pot so that where the leaves were underground so they can become roots. It takes a little while for it to get established again. But it worked for me. I keep redoing mine, and a lot of times I'll go there and you cut off the roots, and all of a sudden the plant turns into 2 plants. I've had that a lot of times. Or now I've got an extra plant here. That's fun to do because my African violets love where they are. I don't know why. They usually like an east window. I think a north window probably isn't enough. And it might be a little chilly there. But I've got mine, it's exactly in the wrong spot by a west window. And there is a lot of sun that comes in it, but it's kind of behind the curtains. So they don't get that direct sunlight, but they get enough indirect sunlight. So they're happy where they are. So just no direct sunlight on them, please. What else is going on? Christmas cactus, amaryllis, all those stuff are in. We've got all kinds of ideas for Christmas gifts. If you want to give the gift of nature to someone, a bird feeder, for example, is a great present. We have a lot of people that come in and just buy gift cards for DeBrines and give them to grandma or give them to a favorite aunt or whatever. And then they use those gift cards all year long to buy bird seeds. So they've got a gift that just keeps on giving for ages. So that's a great idea too. We need to stop and take a break, but we will be right back after these messages.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBrine Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
And we are back. I'm going to talk about you're putting up Christmas lights today and you're putting on top of bushes, please be careful. Don't put them on the little tiny branches that break. The little bushes need all the help they can get. So be careful when you're putting up the Christmas tree lights outside on the branches. I don't care what you do on the house, but I do worry about your landscaping. If you've got some bushes that, like some arborvitae that the deer like to munch on, either start spraying them with Everguard. That is a spray that you can do in the winter and keep the deer away. It works extremely well. I think it smells like garlic, but it's got I think it's Omni rated, so it's got to be a pretty decent thing. I'm not sure. So I haven't tried it, but I've had a friend that has tried it and loves it. So if you've got some of those bushes that the deer like, you can spray this in the winter. It lasts 30 days and then respray it again, but you can do it even though it's freezing outside. The rest of the ones, you can't do it when it's freezing outside. So that's Everguard, the one that you can use now. So get that out, or you can always wrap some burlap around. And believe me, it's easier to wrap burlap around your shrubs when it's not snowing and blowing out. So today might be a good day to do that, especially if they need to stay upright like an arborvitae. Get that burlap wrapped around it nice and tight so it stays upright. If you've got some shrubs that are like underneath the eave of the house, and if the snow would come off the house, it would just flatten them out. Please put some protection over top of those. Your shrubs are an expensive part of your landscape, and if you've ever had to redo them, you would know this. I was shocked at how much it cost. So, yes, let's keep those. Let's protect those. Let's protect them. If you've got an rhododendron or an evergreen that turns brown during the winter because it's on the north or the west side of the house where all the winds come and they suck all the moisture out of the leaves and they desiccate, spray some wilt stop on them now so to prevent that from happening. Get out there and water your little, if you've got some small bushes, especially small evergreen type bushes, water them well now so they go into winter well watered. That is a key for survival for a lot of the little bushes. So well watering them right now, maybe today, this afternoon might be a good idea. I'm going to get out there after work and water. I've got a couple of small little azaleas that need some help. So I'm going to water them, spray them with a wilt stop, get some protection around them. We do have the little tents. They look like little green tents. They're hysterically funny. But they're folded up flat, and you pull them out and you put them over top of the bushes, and then you just stake them in the ground. That's all you got to do. That works well over your bushes, kind of keeps them protected. I went by the way to Thanksgiving dinner, went by this house that it looked like to me that they forgot to pick up all of their Halloween decorations on their lawn because it looked like they had all these little ghosts all along so we actually had to stop on the way home to check out what that was. And they just had white garbage bags over their bushes. Now, that's really not going to help much at all. So maybe not that. The burlap at least lets some rain in and some sunlight. I don't know if I would put a plastic bag over top of a bush because it looks like a bunch of ghosts running around on your lawn. That was the silliest thing I've ever seen. But yes, there are better things, better options out there to put over top of your small little bushes in the lawn. Some of your larger ones can take it, but the smaller ones, you might want to give them a little bit of love before the winter so you get them in the spring again, so you still have them. You know, it seems like they put all the most delicate bushes and shrubs on the north and west side of your house where that wind comes all winter long. And the Southeast has got all these plants that could survive a hurricane. I don't know why they do that. Drives me nuts. But anyway, if you do have those bushes out there, do get out there this weekend or today, before it starts to snow, and get those taken care of. That's the very, very important thing to do. Try to get that raking done. I know most of my raking is done, but every day there's all these leaves that blow into this one spot in my front lawn, like a dead end, and all the leaves build up there. And I got to blow them back out to the road, and I swear they just come right back the next day when the wind blows. Drives me insane. But get the leaves off the lawn. You leave the leaves on the lawn during the winter, and you're going to kill off the lawn underneath it. We don't want that to happen. So get those off. Make sure, if you haven't done this yet, the last mowing of the year needs to be short. The reason for this is we don't want the long blades of grass to bend over during the winter, and then they get snow on top of them. And what happens is underneath those blades, you've got a little mini microclimate down there that's warm, and all these little fungal spores, which are everywhere, start to grow, and you get snow mold. Not that snow mold is the end of the world, but it is a pain in the butt to try and get rid of it in the spring. You got to sit there and rake it all up. You might have to put new grass seed down. And if you don't have to do that, don't do it. So final mowing of the year always goes short. I would go 2 inches for your last mowing of the year. We never suggest that during the year, but the last mowing, yes, that's what it needs to be. All right. I need to remind you, I will be back here Tuesday morning at 8:35 with the garden party. And then I will be here on Tuesday morning from 10 until 11 with the garden hour with Gary. I don't know who will be here with Gary at the garden party. I think it might be Gary. I think Dan's got to be over at the van yet for another week. So not quite sure. They don't tell me the schedule. I just show up. That's all I'd have to do. So I'll be here Tuesday morning at 8:35 and then at 10 until 11 with the garden hour. But the most important thing is I will be back here next Saturday at 11:05. Hopefully Kurt Dykstra gets here with us, and we will talk all things birds and birding and coffee with the birds and what else we can do with the birds. So that is next Saturday morning. And until then, go green.